Did you know that Bonnie ate someone's cat? Or that Golden Freddy's original name was not Golden Freddy? Today we're going to take a look at some really interesting Five Nights at Freddy's facts that I never see anyone talk about, so let's get straight into it. Starting off with that one I just mentioned about Golden Freddy's original name. So in the first game's files, you can actually take a look at Golden Freddy's picture, and it's labeled Yellow Bear. So it wasn't Golden Freddy, which is really interesting. It was Yellow Bear. This kind of links back more to like Fredbear, which he is in a way, but it's just interesting that it wasn't even Yellow Freddy or anything. It wasn't until Markiplier called him Golden Freddy that he was renamed Golden Freddy in the second game, once we got their official names in the custom night, which is really interesting. And our second fact, which also has to do with the characters' names, is that in the first game, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were all placeholder names. So these were just ones that Scott kind of came up with on the spot. He didn't really think about them, and he was intending to have better names for the characters, but he literally kept all four of them because he really liked them, and they just stuck naturally. He revealed this in a little, I think it was one of the newspaper excerpts, and it's just so interesting that, you know, they weren't even meant to be called Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Like, imagine if they weren't. These names are just so iconic. Could you imagine if they were anything else? Fact number 3. So, a lot of people think that Rockstar, Freddy, and Lefty have the exact same mold, exact same sculpture. They're literally just texture changes for the same character. And it's fair enough that anyone would think this, but there actually is one crucial difference that separates the two of them. And that is this right here. His nose, of all things. So Lefty's nose is actually slightly bigger than Rockstar Freddy's nose. I don't really know why, and I don't really know what like law reason this would have. Like, did Henry just, you know, was he missing the part for his nose, so he just had to use a bigger one or something? I'm not really sure, but I feel like this could have also been kind of Scott wanting to have at least one difference between them in their sculpt. Like, obviously, yeah, they have different colors, and then Lefty's eye is different, obviously, because he's Lefty. But I don't know, maybe this was like just something Scott wanted to do so he could differentiate the models when he was making the game. Who knows? Fact number 4. So did you know that in FNaF 3, if the ventilation is down, hallucinations of Springtrap can appear on the cameras he isn't on? So this is something that I actually never knew before I researched this video, so I'm assuming a lot of you don't know. But basically, when the ventilation is down, that means hallucinations can occur. So there's like Phantom Freddy, Phantom Foxy. We all know this, but what I didn't know was that there can be Phantom Springtraps in a way. So he looks identical to the normal Springtraps. In fact, it uses the same renders again, but it's just they show up on cameras that he's actually not there at the time. So you're having a hallucination of Springtrap on a different camera that he isn't on. And this is just so cool, and like it makes so much sense, and it's such a smart way to have like more going on in the game, I feel like. Honestly, Scott is genius for this one, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be cool if it had like a slightly different design, like more destroyed and phantomy like the Phantom animatronics are, but I feel like Springtrap is already really destroyed and gross looking, so it makes sense that the Phantom would look exactly how he looks. But yeah, I never knew this, guys, so leave a comment if you knew about this, because I definitely didn't. I think it's really cool. And fact number 5 actually comes back to Springtrap again, but not the Springtrap you think you know. I feel like this one more people know, and I knew about it, but I wanted to spread the word about it because I think it's really interesting. So, Dark Springtrap is a canon character. He only showed up for a few seconds in Sister Location's custom night, but was distinct enough to get his own merchandise from Funko and an entry in the character encyclopedia. So, if you guys remember when you beat that Sister Location custom night, you get that little cutscene where Michael is basically like, I'm going to come find you, and it's really creepy. And at the very end, you see Springtrap, right? And it's in this bad lighting, so you don't really think much of it, but people actually realize that this is a different Springtrap because he's missing more of his like suit. It's more destroyed because obviously the fire's just gone on. And this is really interesting, but what's more interesting is that they made this a separate character from normal Springtrap. For some reason they didn't just call him Withered Springtrap, which I feel like would have made more sense, but he is kind of withered already, but then also he was Spring Bonnie. I don't know, it's like a whole thing. But so basically it's just like a more destroyed Springtrap before he turned into Scrap Trap. But this character was significant enough to get its own entry into the encyclopedia that came out a few years back, which is really interesting. I'll show that on the screen now. and he was also significant enough to get a Funko Pop. What the hell? This is so weird. I actually made a video on the Funko Pops a while ago, and this one really stumped me, but I think it's really interesting. But I just think if he had like one appearance for like not even a second, how is this its whole like original character with its own merchandise, its own book entry? Like, that is just so bizarre to me, but also it's really cool. So, you know, I'm on the fence about this. Like, I don't hate it, I don't love it, I don't really care, but I think it's pretty funny, honestly. What do you guys think? And fact number 5, taking a break from Springtrap, we have one for FNaF 4. So the muffled audio that plays during the nights of FNaF 4, if you take that audio and reverse it, it's actually the phone calls from FNaF 1 with like the pitch messed around. So basically when you're playing FNaF 4 and you hear that in the background, that is literally the phone call from the first game, but it's like reversed and pitched down, pitched up. Like, it's just kind of meant to sound like nothing, but that's actually what the audio is, and I think that's really interesting. It's a cool little callback to FNaF 1. FNaF 4 was meant to kind of end the franchise, so it's interesting that it's like a kind of end of where it started, you know. It's a really interesting little fact, and I'm going to throw in a bonus fact here. In FNaF 4, in the bedroom, these pictures on the walls are actually Scott Cawthon and his family. They're really blurry, so you can't really make out any details, but it is Scott Cawthon, it is his family, and I think that's kind of wholesome and just really interesting. So yeah, there's 2 little interesting facts about Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Our 6th fact of the day is going to go all the way back to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So in FNaF 2, Toy Freddy opens his mouth more and more the closer he gets to you. This one I did not know about before I researched for this video, and then I looked into it and I saw it actually is true. So if you take a look at Toy Freddy where he starts on the stage, his mouth is completely shut almost. It's just kind of sitting there. But then once he moves over to where Balloon Boy is, which is a really rare screen that not a lot of people have seen, but this can happen, and it's a little bit open, it's still kind of closed, but then gradually as he gets closer and closer, and then eventually, like when he's in the office, his mouth is like wide open. It's creepy, and his jump scare, I mean, obviously his jump scare is like a given. He's gonna be, you know, closing and opening his mouth because he's like, bah, like in your face. But I think this is really interesting. It's like this, he slowly gets closer to you and he gets creepier and creepier. It'd be cool if they did this sort of thing like with Toy Chica, where maybe one of her eyes comes out but the other doesn't, and then the other eye and then a beak. That would have been interesting. Or maybe Toy Bonnie's eyes slowly open wider and wider and wider, because we all know how creepy he is when he comes into the office and his eyes are really wide open. That is so creepy. But yeah, no, I thought this was really interesting. It's like a slow little progression thing for Toy Freddy to show like how angry he is, how close he's getting to you. Like, I don't know, it's just, this seems like such a little detail, but I think it's really cool, and I think it like all kind of comes to fruition at the very end when he's in your office and his mouth is wide open. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've always found this render extremely creepy, a lot creepier than any of the withered animatronics renders are in this room. I think his is by far the creepiest, and honestly, I really hate seeing it. It creeps me out so much. It would be cool if they recreated this sort of thing in the second movie, because we know Toy Freddy's going to be in that. So yeah, let's see how we go with that, but hopefully they do some sort of little callback. That'd be really cool. What do you guys think? And then our final fact is, I think, maybe the most interesting. I don't know about you guys, but basically Bonnie ate someone's cat in FNaF AR. So there's these scrapped emails from the game that I don't remember if you could find them or not, but people found them anyway in the source code. They were probably intended to be found. You know, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. People are always going to look through the code. But basically, this is what the email reads. So it's past complaining prog 05 RE malfunction. So it's laid out like an email. This is from Lisa Jamison, Regional Director of Logistics, and they wrote, "I need a favor from you, Jimmy. You have to get these things out of here. These animatronics just aren't working out the way we thought they would. My night shift guys are refusing to come to work for their shifts. One of them swore the Bonnie animatronic ate the shop's resident stray cat. That's not even possible." Is it? Basically, if you guys don't know, in FNaF AR, it's like they order animatronics to where they are. So this person has seemingly ordered a Bonnie animatronic, and the Bonnie's just chilling at the shop. I don't know, I really don't know how that can make any sense. Like, imagine just a little cafe and you just walk in and Bonnie's just standing there, like, what? That'd be so weird. But basically, yeah, so they've had a Bonnie, and the Bonnie has just gone and eaten a cat for whatever reason. I guess he was just really craving, like, eating a cat or something. Maybe he really wanted tuna. I don't know, but yeah, I think that's really interesting, and not a lot of people know about is that Bonnie ate a cat. You know, I feel like you don't hear about the animatronics eating stuff much, other than like the bite of 87 or 83 where they ate a human being. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like they don't really eat all that much. You know, there was Glamrock Chica in Security Breach, and she just ate rubbish. You know, that wasn't a human, that wasn't a living thing. But here we have Bonnie back in the day, just going straight for a live cat and eating it. Like, what the heck? Oh man. Anyway guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I wanted to try something out a little different with these facts, so if you like this, make sure to like and subscribe so I know you guys like it. And be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, do everything so that this video can pop off. And if you don't, I will literally kill you. Anyway guys, have a great night. See you later.